Hello again. We're entering back into this study of a series of the Gospel of Mark. We left it off in the fall and during the season of Advent and some of the special series during January of stewardship. But we're back again into the Gospel of Mark, and our plan is to finish it by Easter and walk through the remaining part of Mark in that way. Just a reminder, we do have the devotional guides available for you to pick up and to continue to read as we work through the rest of the Gospel. We're beginning today's study at Mark chapter 10, and just again a reminder that Mark divides itself around chapter 8, when Jesus begins to say to his disciples, "I'm going to die, I'm going to give my life," and he actually physically begins to head toward Jerusalem. And so we're picking up Jesus on that journey to Jerusalem. But he says in chapter 8, and this is sort of the middle point and the hinge point for this gospel, that you just need to be aware of as you enter into this study and this topic this week and next week as well. Jesus says, "If anyone comes after me, they must deny themselves, take up their cross daily, and follow me. And whoever wants to find their life must lose it, or whoever keeps their life will not find it." And that's the gist of what Jesus is saying to his disciples: come and follow me, but be willing to die to yourself. And that's an important background to what Jesus now talks about in chapter 10, about some of the ways in which we follow Jesus, and in some particularly difficult choices sometimes. And today we come to the theme of marriage and divorce. That was a hot topic for Jesus' contemporaries. But just to be aware that divorce and marriage were topics that were talked about for centuries and thousands of years, actually. And the Old Testament, there was some regulating of that divorce by Deuteronomy 24, which is part of the study today. But Jesus comes into the middle of that argument between two factions. One group that would have said divorce is only allowable if it's by virtue of adultery, and another group that said basically there could be easy divorce regardless of what anybody was feeling about, if there was some kind of infraction or some kind of something that didn't please the man in particular. Jesus comes into this debate and it isn't drawn into the question of what about divorce, but he actually raises another question and asks a question about marriage. So in this discussion today, I would encourage you as you lead your class to ask some questions about what has been the best marriage you have ever seen. And begin with that question: what have you observed that makes marriage so special? Because that would be important for Jesus in this discussion, as you'll see. But then also, what has been your experience with divorce, or persons who have gone through divorce? What has helped persons in that situation? What has not helped? And what are the difficulties that we need to wrestle with as a church, both to uphold the sanctity of marriage, but also recognize that marriages don't always survive? And so that's an important question that I hope you'll take as much time as you can in your class to talk about. And there are a number of scriptures that there is a study guide that's attached to the learning resources on the website. And I would encourage you to download that and maybe even copy that for persons in your classes, because these are important questions for us to deal with, both in the context of Jesus' day, but also for us today. And so blessings to you as you enter into this important conversation to both talk about marriage, but also to talk about divorce. Thank you.